So what we've mostly focused on so far in this conversation of hard and soft markets has been supply and demand
Mm.
and the extent to which capital is available and willing to participate or is not. But I think in particular over the last 3 or 4 years, arguably, despite my comment at the beginning of the episode, we have seen the risk change in a lot of areas. Things that we thought unthinkable have happened. For example, I think probably people have heard this hundreds of times for the last couple of years, but the pandemic, where did that come from? All of a sudden, that's completely changed the world around us, how we operate, where we work and live, and the probability that something that world changing might happen again. The war in Ukraine, the first war in Europe for generations that shows no sign of stopping and has embroiled all sorts of assets and businesses and individuals' lives in a horribly transformational way to a risk profile. And then, of course, the other big elephant lurking in the room, climate change. You've had all of a sudden the sort of financial world turn around and say this thing that we've been denying for forever and ever and claiming isn't really a thing. Actually, it's a thing that we are acknowledging is real and that we have data on. And actually, it's something we haven't been pricing for historically. So we now need to radically change the way we look at the probability of natural catastrophes. And not just natural catastrophes, by the way, that's the tip of the iceberg. That's the obvious bit sticking out of the water. If you've got radical changes to climate, I mean, we talk a lot about trying to avoid the world going above its 1.5 degree changes, right? We're looking at how much of the world is going to be underwater, in 2050, how much of certain regions are going to be unsustainable in terms of water supply, in terms of businesses being able to operate, in terms of weather conditions that just kill people because it's too hot too frequently for an ever-aging population. The world is arguably riskier. Increasingly urban populations, people still growing rapidly in areas where resources aren't there to support them. It's a different world, and I think the capital providers had enough time during the soft market to realize that they weren't getting the returns from uncorrelated insurance risk to spook them. And now getting them back is coming with the caveat that you better be pricing in for the fact that this is not the world of the happy clappy years that went before.